Muchachos y muchachas, the dirty deeds of Diddy and the 1,000 bottles of baby oil. This is, I guess that's what I'm going to title this video here. And I just made that up. Anyway, a lot of people all over the internet are going wild, making memes, speculations, theories, things like this because of the recent revelation. So about a week or a week and a half ago, when the indictment was made to light, there was a revealing detail that the feds actually confiscated about 1,000 bottles of baby oil when they raided Diddy at his residences. I guess shocking detail, because who the heck is using 1,000 bottles of baby oil for what? Because this actually is so curious, one journalist from the New York Post questioned Mark Agnifilo, who is Diddy's lawyer, about this very detail. And Mark Agnifilo replied with something that was just so kind of out of pocket. You know, she basically asked him about it. Like, what about these 1,000 bottles of baby oil? What are you doing? You know, not you, but what was he doing with all of this? He basically replied because Sean Combs, P. Diddy, was within close proximity of a Costco, that it is alluded that he stocked up on baby oil. Take a listen to what he has to say.
How do you explain the baby oil and the lubricants? 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
I don't think it was 1,000. I think it was a lot. I mean, there's a Costco right down the street. You know, I think Americans buy in bulk, as we know. And you know, this is consensual adults doing what consensual adults do. You know, we can't get so puritanical in this country to think that somehow sex is a bad thing, because if it was, there'd be no more people.
So in an interesting turn of events, TMZ, oh yes, TMZ actually did a little bit of investigative journalism. So they reached out to Costco. I'm proud of them, actually. I'm proud of them. Kudos, TMZ. They reached out to Costco to ask them about this detail, this revealing detail coming out of Mark Agnifilo, P. Diddy's lawyer. And guess what they had to say about this particular product? Yeah, that they don't stock that. They don't carry packs of baby oil at bulk at any U.S. locations. So it's funny that Mark Agnifilo, who, by the way, represented Keith Raniere in the Nixium trial, fun fact, it's funny that he's fumbling these details already. It goes to show that some of these defense arguments of some of these scummy celebrities come straight out of one's rectum. But what about these 1,000 bottles of baby oil? Was it actually 1,000 bottles of baby oil? So there is one theory out there that is starting to circulate that this possibly was not baby oil, that it might have been a substance called GHB, and that because it's comparable to the way Blink Twice, a brand new movie starring Channing Tatum, may have encaptured his victims using a similar substance, that this was probably something that Diddy did to his victims. Take a listen to this theory.
It's not baby oil, it's drugs. And I don't mean the fun kind that you like to take. We've all been cracking jokes about Diddy and the baby oil thing, and the stuff is funny, but something just didn't make sense to me. One, why does he have so much? It's one thing to have 10, 20, even 100 bottles between his properties where they raided, even 100 bottles between all those properties, that's somewhat reasonable, and it's like, okay, whatever, you know, you like to do some weird stuff. But it was 1,000 bottles, and the FBI took it, which was weird, because, okay, you just like to do some freaky stuff, but then why would the FBI take it? Because they know what it is. We've heard about Diddy talk about his parties and stuff like that, but no one ever brought up baby oil, which is kind of weird, because even talking about the parties, if that was something that was going down on a regular basis, people kind of bring it up as a joke within the industry, and they would kind of throw things out there because people don't know what's going on. I've never heard of anything about that until now. And the main reason why I know it's drugs is because of this movie. Blink Twice, starring Channing Tatum, that came out not even fucking 3 months ago. So spoilers if you haven't seen it. I hate to ruin this movie for you because it is a pretty good movie, but this makes sense once I explain to you what happened. Long story short, Channing Tatum is a tech billionaire who has this island that he invites all his people to. The women that he invites to the island, he gives them this perfume. It's just like regular perfume that doesn't have anything special about it. What they find out later is that this perfume erases your memory for a short term. So throughout the movie, these women keep using this perfume on a regular basis, don't think anything of it, but come to find out later it's been erasing their memory. And the reason why it's been erasing their memory is because these dudes have been taking advantage of them at night, and then the next day they don't remember what happened. And the key part about the perfume in this movie, that the reason why it's ties to Diddy, is in the movie you find out that basically he's been giving the perfume to a lot of his, billionaire friends and all these influential people, and showing them, hey, you can use this perfume for this thing, whatever, to do these terrible things. All you can do is invite them to the island, you get them perfume, you can do what you want to do. Do I think Diddy's baby oil can give people short-term memory loss? It's possible. Because as crazy as having 1,000 bottles of baby oil sounds, it makes perfect sense to the fact that he had it laced with drugs. He was using it to take advantage of people, having them forget what happened, and the fact that no one talks about it, but everyone kind of knows what's kind of going on, makes perfect sense. Because as much as people talking about it, like, oh, it's not a crime to be freaky, which sounds freaking stupid when they say that, but it makes a lot more sense when you think about the reason why the FBI took the baby oil, because they know it's laced with drugs, because other people have told them it's laced with drugs. That's where all the stuff starts clicking. A lot of people are saying that why did the government or FBI say exactly what's going on is because I think they're trying to find out who exactly has the baby oil or has ties to Diddy. So they're keeping their mouth shut on what exactly happened, and they're starting to pick up little pieces as they go along, because this is going to go very deep. We all know this. So I think they don't have all the pieces of who's doing what. Maybe they just grab Diddy and talk about the baby oil to see if he would start snitching. But this is going to be very deep. And I think the baby oil was tied to everything.
So many people have asked me to give my opinion on this particular theory. And this is what I have to say about it. If there are substantial witness testimonies that would corroborate this particular substance, then I could probably start looking that direction. And what I mean is there are several witness testimonies that coincide with some of the things that Diddy did, that actually Diddy was alleged to have done. For example, in the Lil Rod and I believe the Cassie Ventura lawsuit, they both mention being intoxicated, being drugged through alcohol, right? Lil Rod goes up a little bit more detail into how they were doing it. And then there was actually a former bodyguard that went on a podcast interview to also allege the same thing, right? 3 different positions, 3 different people, 3 different timelines who allege the same action, which was that Diddy and his associates were knowingly lacing alcohol or let's just say the chaser, the juice that they were using to mix the cocktails, right? So I'm looking for something like that. I need multiple people of different positions, maybe different timelines, more likely different timelines for me to corroborate evidence like that, to say the same thing, to corroborate the same list of events, and then I'll start looking that direction. From what I hear from this video, it does seem to be that this is speculation, that because there is, like, Hollywood seems to write in certain details that what you would think would be fictional, but actually are happening in real life as we go through time and more is revealed, lawsuits, federal indictments, prosecutions, things like this for crimes like Diddy's. And we end up looking back on movies like this and we're like, oh my gosh, like this writer actually wanted to tell us something, or the details are actually revealed in itself. I look at things the way that an investigation within a court process would go, right? I need the evidence, I need the discovery, I need witness testimonies, right? You need to be able to cross these things over. Things like this, and I used to just believe theories like this on the internet, and that is what turned me off, is kind of carrying through this theory only to be led to a dead end, and no additional documentation was found, no additional evidence, right? And it just gets you to hit a wall, and you can't go any further but that wall. Because if you really think about it, if we carry off with just theories like this, right? Because at this point, this is just a theory. It's not a proven fact, right? And many people will argue until they're blue in the face. No, it is a proven fact because there's been found this or that. In this particular case, I need more corroboration, right? So just comparing this to a particular movie and carrying on like that legitimizes the theory is not enough for me. It's just me, right? You can believe whatever you want. I am always going to try to steer you guys to look at things from a different perspective, maybe different angles to get the truth out, but still root yourself in truth, right? So that's my thought on that. What do you guys think about this particular theory with the baby oil? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.